VC, David Newton coming at you tonight with a video that was inspired by Chris Has the Spins No Sub contest. I know that was over a month ago, but I am new to the vinyl community and I just really wanted to share my contribution just so you can get a little more familiar with my taste in music and just something I wanted to do for fun. So, first one was an album cover that you would like to recreate yourself with a significant other or a family member. It's Abbey Road. I did get to go to London on a business trip back in 2016, and I did get to recreate the famous walk across Abbey Road by myself. But I think it would be fun to go to London with my wife and daughters and recreate this iconic crosswalk. Number 2, an album cover that makes you feel happy. I'm going to go with Jet's Get Born. I was really excited when Jet came out with their single, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? And I just really like this cover. It always kind of reminded me of the Beatles' Revolver, so I just really like this cover. Alright, number 2, an album cover that makes you sad. I was originally going to post this one for my favorite box set cover, but I'm going to go with this one for my sad. This is George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, and sadly George did pass in 2001. He was my favorite Beatle, and so I'm happy to have this in my collection, but really wish he were still around and producing new music. Alright, a sexy album cover. I'm going to go with The Last Shadow Puppets, The Age of the Understatement. Not really a lot to say. I mean, it's pretty woman in her stockings. Kind of with a, I don't know, come hither stare. Pout, whatever you want to call it. Next we have a boring album cover. I'm a big fan of Oasis and Noel Gallagher, but for Noel Gallagher's second solo album, this is a pretty boring cover. Just him in front of a wall in sunglasses. I know Noel's notorious for not wanting to do photo shoots, and I know he absolutely hates making music videos, but this is pretty boring. Alright. An album cover with the best dressed person or group. This was an easy one for me. That's going to be Eric Clapton on Journeyman. He's not, you can't really tell what he's wearing on the cover, front cover, but on the back cover, check him out in his gray suit with his yellow shirt underneath. That's pretty classy. Typical of Eric Clapton back in the 80s and 90s. Alright. Next is an album cover with a female lead. I'm going to go with the Dead Weather Whorehound. I think her name's Allison. I can't think of her last name, but she kind of shares the lead vocals with Jack White. This is his side project, Dead Weather. But yeah, great album if you haven't heard it. Alright, favorite box set cover. Well, since I already showed George Harrison, my second favorite best box set cover would have to go to the Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Such a great album from Billy Corgan. This is right before the breakup, where we lost James Iha and the female bass player. I can't remember her name now. But yeah, this is my favorite box set cover. Alright, cover of an album not many people own but should. Alright, this is a group that I really, really like. I haven't seen a lot of posts in the vinyl community about this group, but that's the Rival Sons. They've really got this kind of old, bluesy, almost like Led Zeppelin 1, 2 sound to them. They're a really great band. This is their, I want to say their 4th album. But definitely worth checking this group out. They are really great. Jay Buchanan, the lead singer, has got some really good pipes, and then the rest of the guys, I mean, they're just great musicians as well. This is the drummer. He's got the John Bonham sound to him, and then this is Scott. He's the lead guitarist. He's got some Jimmy Page chops as well as some other guitar greats. So worth a listen if you haven't heard the Rival Sons. Alright. Next is an album with great artwork. And I'm going to go with the Band of Skulls. This is their debut album. It has the song that you might be familiar with, Light of the Morning. I think it was featured in the Hangover movie. But the artwork for this was done by the bass player, and I believe she did the artwork also for the 2nd and 3rd albums as well. Alright, a Psych album cover. I'm going to go with the Black Angels and their album Death Song. I think I got this last record store day, maybe the year before. But this is a great album. I think the band may be out of Texas, possibly. But this album glows in the dark. The vinyl glows in the dark, and the artwork looks really cool. The black light. Let me see if I can get that to work real quick. Just a second. Is that going to show up on camera? Oh well, I'll take my word for it. Okay. Next was a blues album, and I'm going to go with Albert King's Born Under a Bad Sign. This is a reissue, but still a great album from start to finish. Born Under a Bad Sign, of course, is my favorite song. I also like, let's see here, The Hunter, and the Very Thought of You. Great album, worth having in your collection, whether you're a blues fan or not. Next is a jazz album cover. I don't own a lot of jazz. I do have Miles Davis kind of blue album, but that's been shared so many times, so I'm going to go with something that has the word jazz on it, and that's Queen. That's kind of cheeky, but hey, it is a jazz album cover. Next is a soul album, and I promise I wasn't trying to be cheeky 2 times in a row, but this is Otis Redding's The Soul album. Great album if you don't have it. I'm sure most of you do have it in your collection. Cigarettes and Coffee, The Chain Gang, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, Treat Her Right, just 634, 5789, just all kinds of great hits on this album. Fantastic album. Let's see here. My computer screen has gone blank, so let me see here. An album you think the fewest people have seen. This is a group that's out of the UK. They only released 2 albums, but this is their debut album, and this is the 2220s. Great guitar work on this album. Sadly, though, the band just dissolved and they only put out 2 albums, but this was one that was one of my grails, and I finally got it a few years off Discogs. I paid a pretty price for it, but it's a great album, worth checking out if you haven't heard it. I'm pretty sure you might be able to stream it on YouTube. I don't know if it's on iTunes or not, but if you can, check out the track Such a Fool and Shoot Your Gun. Great songs. Right, next is an album with your dream guitar. I've got 2 entries for this one. The first one doesn't have a guitar on the cover. This is an album I picked up last year at Record Store Day, and this is the Monterey International Pop Festival. And this is the festival in which Jimi Hendrix was famous for setting his guitar on fire. There was a video made, I want to say 10 years ago, possibly, or maybe longer than that now. But it was John Mayer Trio, and he was playing the guitar that had been replicated with the same artwork. And I just always thought it was a really cool guitar, and last year Fender reissued it, and I'm happy to say I do own the guitar, and it plays great. This is the Jimi Hendrix. It even has the Jimi Hendrix plate on the back. It was supposed to have a signature on it, but I guess I got one that did not have it. I called Fender and they offered to send me another one. I just didn't want to fool with it. Alright, so for my second one, this is BRMC 81, and this was a semi-hollow guitar, and I do have that. It's this blue one here behind me. That guitar is kind of a kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I really like this guitar and the sound it has, but it also kind of resembles the guitar that Dave Grohl plays in the Foo Fighters. Alright. Iconic album cover. I'm going to go with Oasis's Definitely Maybe. This is their debut album. It's pretty iconic. I mean, it's been seen on The Simpsons, for God's sake. I mean, how more iconic can you get? You know, I was going to go with some of the classic rock ones, like Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, and Dark Side of the Moon, The Stones' Sticky Fingers. I mean, those are all great albums, but I just wanted something that was a little more recent, I guess. Next is your favorite gatefold. I'm going to go with the Beatles' White Album. It's really simple, but it has those 4 classic images of the group. This is my favorite album from the Beatles, so. And the oldest album in my collection is, this is Sinatra. I got this off Discogs. I got it at a good price, but this was released in 1956, I believe. Same year my dad was born. Actually, I'm sorry, my mom was born. But yeah, it's seen better days, but still plays well. And lastly is the Oddest album. This was given to me by a friend last year. It is the Pacific Gas Electric Are You Ready? I just think it's a weird cover. It's got all these phallic shapes on there and pin-up posing. Kind of odd. I mean, I get what they're going after, but yeah, this is an odd one for me. Alright, there you go. My 20 plus albums. Just a little more insight as to what kind of music I like. I want to thank Chris Has the Spins for inspiring this, even though I am a day late to the party. But I just want to say I've been in the vinyl community just for a little while, and on YouTube anyways. I do have an account on Instagram where you can follow me. But for YouTube, I've received nothing but great comments from everyone. Beth, I can't shout her praises enough. She's been really great. Tim, DJ High Noon's been really great. So many people. I'm just trying to play catch up and see what everyone has and who all's out there, and just really want to embrace this vinyl community and be able to share future posts and see what everyone else is posting. So happy to be here, and I look forward to future videos from everyone and just getting to know each of you on a more personal level, and just learning your likes and dislikes, and just sharing the vinyl love. So that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, thanks.